The 7th of December, 1941. This was the day in history after which the map of the world was going to change forever. A disaster was about to break out at the U.S. Navy base. No one knew Doris Miller, an African-American cook aboard the battleship, serves breakfast to Navy officers at sunrise and then takes care of their laundry collection. At exactly 7:57 in the morning, Doris Miller hears a siren. Which probably no sailor wants to hear in his service. He comes out and is more surprised to see that the whole sky is full of Japanese bomber aircrafts. In the blink of an eye, the whole level base is like an apocalypse because Japanese aircrafts selectively started destroying American ships. This attack was done on US's Pearl Harbor base. Today, we will know why Japan had so much courage to attack a country like America, why a cook named Doris Miller was given America's biggest award, and why America did killer attack on Japan. Welcome to another interesting video of Mystigo Network. Friends, this interesting story begins in 1941, when America put everything at stake to save China in World War II. Yes, the same China against which America openly talks today in 2023. It so happened that 3 years had passed since the start of World War II, in which Germany and Italy were on one side, while Britain, Netherlands, and France were on the other side. America had no part in this war. America was completely neutral because of the losses in World War I. America wanted to keep itself completely away from the war in Europe and Asia. But there was one country which was continuously troubling America, and that was Japan. Due to the lack of natural resources, Japan was occupying the countries around it so that it could meet the demand of its natural resources. Japan had occupied large areas of Korea, Taiwan, and China. It also had an eye on the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia close to Japan in the Pacific Ocean itself. But the issue was that Malaysia was a British colony, Indonesia was a colony of the Netherlands, and the Philippines was a neutral U.S. colony. These countries did not like Japan's occupation of other countries at all, because Hitler was actually behind Japan, and Hitler was the enemy of Britain and America. Seeing this act of Japan, America stopped giving oil to Japan in July 1941. Japan did not have its own oil, but it used to import 80% oil of its demand from America only. America put a condition in front of it that first it will have to give up its occupation in China, then oil will be given to it. This was a very difficult decision for Japan. On the one hand, if he had left his possession with China, so the whole world would have understood that in spite of Hitler's support, they have bowed their knees in front of America. On the other side was oil. Without it, Japan's hold was bound to weaken anyway. Japan decided that it would not withdraw its troops from China, but internally made a plan that it would capture Indonesia for oil. But it was not that easy task, as we have already know that Indonesia was a colony of the Netherlands at that time, and to reach there it was necessary to first capture the Philippines, which was a colony of America. Japan was well aware that if it attacked the Philippines, it would be react from the American naval base Pearl Harbor in the Pacific Ocean. But Japan was now running out of oil reserves fast, and they were left with no other option but to attack, not in the Philippines, but at Pearl Harbor, where the Japanese military leader decided to launch a surprise attack on the U.S. Pearl Harbor base and blow up the entire base so that Japan could then easily capture the Philippines. Japan was now secretly preparing to attack Pearl Harbor. He started preparing his fleet, which included 2 battleships, 39 submarines, 30 destroyers, and there were surprisingly 414 bomber aircraft. These aircraft were sent towards Pearl Harbor through 6 aircraft carriers. On the other hand, if the American force standing at Pearl Harbor is estimated, then it consisted of 8 battleships, 59 anti-aircraft ships, 4 Marines, and 390 aircraft to be seen. So America had enough force to counter Japan's attack, but it was necessary that they should get information about this attack in advance. And Japanese wanted to keep the attack secret in every way. That's why the Japanese commander decided that before the attack, he should not use any kind of wireless communication. The force coming out of Japan, after covering a distance of about 8,000 kilometers, is now only 370 kilometers away from Pearl Harbor, and this was the point from where the aircrafts were taken off to attack. This was going to be the biggest attack of World War II, in which America was not involved yet. On the morning of the 7th of December, 1941, at 7:57, 350 Japanese aircraft raided Pearl Harbor in two different groups. Americans who were not aware of this attack at all. The first group of Japanese aircraft had rained bullets. They kept attacking Pearl Harbor for 45 minutes and then went back. At first, it seemed that the attack was over, but after 10 minutes, another group of bomber aircrafts arrived and destroyed the remaining naval base by firing bullets. The attack continued for a full hour and 15 minutes, with the Japanese having the upper hand in every way. America's 20 vessels, 8 battleships, and more than 300 planes were destroyed while standing. The ground was covered with fire and the sky with clouds of black smoke. Meanwhile, there was also African-American cook Doris Miller in a battleship of America, which we mentioned in the starting of the video. Doris hears a siren during laundry collection. Hearing this dreadful siren till he came out, a Japanese torpedo missile hit his ship, in which many officers, including the ship captain, were injured. Doris single-handedly shifted them to a safe place and then went to the anti-aircraft machine gun and attacked the Japanese aircraft in turn. He shot down a total of 6 Japanese aircraft without training, while Japan's total 29 aircraft were lost in this attack. Doris Miller was the first African-American to be awarded the Navy Cross. This award is the highest award of the U.S. Navy, while it is the second highest award in the United States after the Medal of Honor. After being attacked for 1 hour and 15 minutes, the Japanese aircraft went back, but they had now pushed America into the World War II. The same America which was not involved in World War II before this attack. The very next day after the attack on Pearl Harbor, America decided to teach a lesson to Japan and also declared an open war against them. For the next 3 months, America was engaged in restoring its naval base. Fortunately, many ships were submerged in shallow water, which was also capable of repair. 4 months later, the U.S. attacked Japan, just as they had done at Pearl Harbor. Yes, in April 1942, America rained bombs on Japan's capital, Tokyo. This was America's first attack in World War II. But after this, America did not sit quietly. For the next 4 years, a fierce battle between Japan and America continued, in which America now had a heavy upper hand. Japan had become very weak in this war, but it was not accepting defeat under any circumstances. Japan was not surrendering to America. Finally, on August 1945, America used its last card against Japan. On the 6th of August 1945 at 8 a.m. in the morning, a Boeing B-29 Superfortress aircraft was seen over the city of Hiroshima, Japan. This aircraft dropped the 4,400 kilograms little boy named bomb over Hiroshima. Exactly 43 seconds later, there was a loud bang and everything turned white. After that, a fireball went from the ground towards the sky, which raised the temperature of the ground to 5,000 degrees Celsius. This was the first nuclear attack in history, which turned more than 80% of the buildings on the entire Hiroshima into a pile of mud in just a pinch. It was as if the ground had slipped under the feet of the Japanese military leaders. Now, they would have understood something else, that after 3 days, on the 9th of August, America also dropped a nuclear bomb on the Japanese city of Nagasaki. It was a Mark III bomb whose code name was kept as Fat Man. This bomb, weighing 4,670 kilograms, wiped out the whole city from the world as soon as it fell. These were the 2 nuclear bombs which were the first and last bombs to be used on humans. According to an estimate, about 260,000 people were killed in the attacks of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In the very next week of this attack, Japan surrendered in front of America. Along with this, World War II also reached its end. It is expected that you people will also like and share this video of Mystigo Network. Thank you all so much for watching the video.